Hey guys, welcome back to part number 6 of my Harrier build. So we're almost done, so today we're going to work on landing gear, getting those gear and doors on. So this will be a penultimate part. Next week will be final part, and we'll wrap this bad boy up. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, landing gear time. So Harrier is a little bit different to normal jets. Instead of 3 landing gears, you have 4. You have a front, a rear, and 2 kind of outriggers. So I put these together, no problem at all. The actual sprue, they're all on sprue E mostly, which is really nice. You kind of stay in the same kind of sprue. The sprue is a little bit flashy, and there's a lot of mold lines and stuff. I did my best I can to get rid of those and sand it down. I think they'll look okay once to be primed. So there's a lot flashy, those ones. So the 2 outriggers, no problem at all. This guy, which is the rear gear, I think it is, just before you assemble 2 halves, you have to kind of push this kind of guy in the middle and do a few things first. So before you glue these 2 halves together, make sure you put the kind of center kind of strut in first, and these 2 guys all goes together when you glue it. Makes it a little bit easier. So that's gone. The front one I actually did earlier on the build, but again, let's get rid of these mold lines and stuff, which I think I've done a pretty good job at that. And yeah, we're going. So this kit we have rubber tires. I never ever use rubber tires. I always use resin normally, but this time we're going to go with it. So we've got the various tires here. So yeah. So what we're going to do with this is this lot up. We're going to prime all the plastic parts in. This serves a 1500 black. We'll prime those up, and then we'll come back and after it's primed, we'll paint it white. I just find whenever you're painting white, if you do black underneath it, like it really makes the white kind of look a lot better, kind of really make it more vibrant. And also what you can do is rather than hose the white on, you can dust it on. It gives that kind of grimy, kind of weathered look too on top of the black, which you'll hopefully see in a little bit once I've done that. So I'm gonna go ahead to the spray booth and get all these painted up, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're looking really good. So I built these up, no problem at all. Painted it all white, obviously, and the wheels. Did paint the metal parts with aluminum, which is 71062 Model Air. I know I plug this stuff all the time, but this is really great for hand painting. There's no streaks or anything. It says for airbrush, but I hand paint these. I don't airbrush them. So painted all little details. Not so much on that one, but you see it more like this part here and struts and there and that kind of thing. Also, you can see so I painted it white, flat coated it, and then added the clear parts. So what I did behind the clear parts, I painted silver, aluminum, or aluminium, 71062, same one as I painted these struts. I just painted on the inside of the light, where the light lenses go, and let it dry, and then this one just pushed in. It's really good fit. The one above it, just a little bit of PVA glue. It still hasn't quite dried, so it looks a little frosty still. So I like to use actually Mod Podge. Is my go-to right now for clear parts. Yeah, so those are in. Light lenses are in, looking good. You know what? I never ever use rubber tires. I always use resin or aftermarket. But now I actually use them on this one. They actually look really good. So maybe I should missing out. Maybe in future I should be using the rubber tires a lot more. So they do look pretty cool on here. Yeah. So we also painted the hubs separately, and they just click in place. You get no masking needed or anything like that. But yeah, I really like the rubber. So I actually have a bunch of the Tamiya 132nd Warbirds in my stash. I think the Spitfire and the Mustang, and I know I have the Barracuda resin wheels. But now seeing this, I'm thinking maybe I just need to stick with the rubber ones because they actually look really cool. So yeah, real cool. So the outriggers, the front, and the rear wheels. Now I need to do is add a little bit of wash to it. It looks a little plain, a little too clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out my Citadel Known Oil, which is basically a black acrylic wash, which is great for metallic parts and this kind of stuff, white too. So I'm just going to take a paintbrush, get a little bit here, and I'm just going to pick out a few kind of areas and let it kind of flow. Applying almost like a pin wash Again, just picking out certain areas. And if you go too much, you can always just take a Q-tip and wipe it off. Then we'll get in the wheels here. Let's detail the wheels. And the other side. Just moving the wheel around so make sure I get it all. And okay, it's easy as that. So that one's done. This guy might be actually a little bit easier to see. Okay, don't need to go too crazy on this, just a little bit here and there, just to create that kind of weathered look. And these outrigger guys, the reason I've got the wheels on here because the numpty I am actually sprayed the inside of the hubs, not the outside. So in a minute I need to paint some more white stuff. I'm going to paint the correct side on those guys too. Okay. Just checking, and there we go. So, crazy on this, just pick out a few little details and stuff. Cool. So that's looking good. So that's where we're at with the gear. I need to paint those for smaller tires, get those on, and then we can attach it to the aircraft. Okay, so the outriggers are done, and I noticed, again, point of doing these videos is so you can, when I make mistakes, you can kind of pick up on them, so, and not make mistakes yourself. So these panels on the gear were white. I painted them white, but it should be the body color, which is light ghost gray. So I just masked these up real quick, and hopefully when I take it off, it's going to be good shape. It's going to look just like it's supposed to. Oh, if I can get it off, that is, without ripping the whole thing together. There you go. So that panel should be the fuselage color on that guy, and also on this one. Cool. So also what I've done is I've gone ahead and painted up all these little guys, all the landing bay doors and speed brakes, all that kind of stuff. So the bigger pieces I just put my sticks and painted them, so white on the inside and the fuselage color light ghost gray on the outside. So I've done a bunch of those. Top tip for this, well, while I was at it also, I figured, I'm not sure if these are the right color or not, but I sprayed all these little like antennas and stuff the same colors, just so I have them ready to go. I think some of these are going to be probably steel color, like the angle attack sensors and stuff. So I painted that one, and then on here, smaller ones, multiple numbers. I just paint on the sprue, to be honest with you. I know it's heresy, but it makes it a lot easier. I find when you're doing gear, not only is it easy to have it all in one place and spray it, so the insides are white and the outsides are fuselage color, but you know what number they are. So when there's certain, like, especially with these outriggers where there's like, you know, lefts and rights and different gear doors and stuff, it just makes it easy. And when it's more advanced gear, it makes it more easy to kind of have on the sprue a number right next to it, so I can cut them off and know which way it goes and which side it goes rather than fumbling around. So I always like painting these on the sprue, and like these little guys, the hydraulics will just need to be painted in silver or steel for the metal part. But yeah, it just makes it a whole lot easier. Just hold the sprue, spray it all. So I primed it all with black and then white for the inside, and like I said, the fuselage color for the outside. So all that's done, which is a lot of work. Like I said, I got all these guys. We're done two at the same time. So it just makes it a whole easier. Like, this kind of reminds me if you ever build a motorcycle, and I highly recommend you do if you've not already. Tamiya motorcycles are absolutely fantastic kits. So the key to doing them efficiently is they break it down by colors, because so much painting involved. So rather than, I'm kind of going off target here, but when you build a motorcycle, there's so much painting involved, and rather than just painting one part and just keep color changing and cleaning your airbrush out and all that kind of stuff, and same thing with cars too. Cars and bikes, if you just kind of break them down to color areas, so like all part of the engine, one part's silver, one part's black, get them all together and just paint them all at once, like on these sticks and stuff. It just makes it a whole bunch easier, because then you not keep changing your airbrush out like every 10 seconds and going through 100 color changes and that kind of stuff. So same principle here with the gear and doors and stuff, just do them all in the batch at once. Makes it a whole lot easier and more efficient, I think. So that's where I'm at with this. So now what's left is need to weather these up the same as we're going to do same as we did the fuselage. It all matches. So a little bit of wash, clay wash on these, and then maybe give them a quick matte flat coat just so it matches the rest of the aircraft. And then we can go ahead and start assembling all this stuff. It's probably something I'm going to do off camera, because it's a little tricky and it's hard to do on the camera. So I'm going to probably do it off camera and then come back and then kind of show you where I'm at and talk over any problems or issues I find. Oh, one other thing I painted too is, I didn't forget about this, the refueling probe. This guy too needs to go on. It's pretty prominent too on the fuselage. But yeah, we're good to go. So let me go ahead and get these kind of all weathered up and all attached. I'm going to use super glue for all this stuff. It's all painted parts. I like to use super glue for painted parts, not extra things that messes with the paintwork and stuff. And I'll be right back. Alrighty, we're getting there. Looking really good. So I took the mask off the canopy, and there's a little bit, there's a crack of what it is on the side here. But remember earlier on I dropped it, so I had to do a bunch of filling and repairing and getting this canopy on. I had a bit of an issue. So it doesn't, overall I'm kind of happy. It's not a huge crack down the middle. Got some little gunk on here, on this corner, but I don't think I can do anything with that. I think it's a little crack. But again, it is what it is, unfortunately, because I did drop it. So not a big deal at all. Inside the cockpit again, looking really good. And obviously what we've been working on is carefully turn around all this stuff on the bottom. So got the wheels on, no problem at all. It sits nicely, no problem with wobbling or anything. Got the fuel tanks glued on, put some of the bay doors on, stuff. Got to do the front ones and the outriggers out here. But overall looking really good. Glued the nozzles back on. Remember I took them off because I painted them iron instead of the fuselage color, so I weathered them up a little bit and put them back on. And we're looking good. So obviously got the tail on and the stabilizers. Broke this guy sheared off, so I just super glue it back on. I think it's pretty good where it is. Not 100%. Oh yeah, actually it's looking pretty good. Light's gone on. Put this down carefully so I don't drop it. This light right here, there's nowhere really to put it. The instructions are very vague, so I think it goes in the middle of that panel, so that's where I put it. A little bit of clear red on top. Again, there's no colors for the lights, but I'm pretty sure it's red or orange on the top. And one on the front, a little bit of smoke. And that's pretty much where we're at. So I've got this guy painted up the refueling probe. That's just going to sit like that, which we'll put on a little bit. So yeah, so I did this a few hours ago, let it all dry up, so it's good. Now I can come back in, like I say, I'm going to put those few more doors on the bottom. Once we've done that, put a few little antennas and wind vane on the front, all kinds of different things. We've got to paint the weapons up, and we're pretty much done. I mean, we're looking really good. I'm really happy how this is turning out. yeah, it just sits perfectly. Really like the rubber tires. I wasn't a big fan of those at all. Like I say, all my kits, I always kind of avoid those and get resin ones, but now I'm kind of becoming a bit of a convert. They're looking really good, and it adds a little bit, yeah, texture and stuff to it. So yeah, so let me go ahead and carefully put the rest of the parts on the bottom there. We'll start building this up. We also got the canopy, we've got that vinyl mask, remember we need to put on too, from Flying Leathernecks, the deck cord, the vinyl deck cord will go on inside. So we'll get working on all that stuff. Still plenty more to do, but we're almost there. We're about 99% done with this aircraft. Did have my problems early on, a lot of filler and stuff, but now it's putting together. I'm really kind of liking how it's looking. All right, moving along. You see I got the decal, the vinyl deck cord, Canopy deck cord. This guy, Flying Leathernecks, made for the Trumpeter kit. We get 2 in a pack, which is pretty cool in case you screw up. It's vinyl, so you just peel it off whenever you want. There's no marks. Now the problem is it's not the same size as what's molded in the canopy. So I don't know if you can see that. See the canopy where it's molded on the inside here. It's raised. This you can't even stretch it. It's not the same. So from a foot away, you can't see anything. It looks great. I think actually the deck cord really makes it kind of like pop, and I kind of like it. But if you look close, maybe like 6 inches away, you can see the raised detail. Now, I'm not going to take this off, sand down all this raised detail, remove it all, polish it all up on the inside. That's just way too much work, way too much risk. So I'm just going to go with that as is. I thought maybe you could stretch it to stretch the vinyl to make the lines, but you can't stretch it. So whatever reason, it says for Trumpeter kits, but unfortunately it doesn't match the canopy. It's different size, which is a bummer. Too narrow. So yeah, so there we go. That's the canopy deck cord. Like I say, from a foot away on the shelf and stuff, I think it looks great. It really kind of makes it stand out and stuff. But yeah, just unfortunately, it's not the right size for the this Trumpeter kit, as they say on the packet. Awesome. So I'm going to end this video now. I think this is a good stopping point for part number 6. When we come back next Friday, part number 7, we've got to take care of the ordnance, a couple of Mavericks and Sidewinders to paint up and decal. The angle attack sensors and a few little final like aerials and final touches on this, and then we could do a final reveal. So next week will be the final part. Thank you for watching as always. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.